Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving into a quirky study, a data-driven exploration of the hypothesis. The closer to the train station, the worse the kebab. It's a fun, slightly chaotic journey through data analysis, so buckle up.
Sounds intriguing. Was the hypothesis actually proven? I'm guessing not, given the title's tone.
Exactly. The author, a self-described burned-out, unemployed dropout with a new autism diagnosis, decided to tackle this question using GIS and the Google Places API. Talk about a unique research background.
Oh my. So how did they approach this seemingly impossible task?
First, they focused on Paris due to the hypothesis's French origin and the city's high density of both train stations and kebab shops. They used OSMNX to get the street network data, identifying train and metro stations. The real challenge was the kebab shops.
Right, the data collection. How did they find all those kebab places?
The Google Places API, which, as you can imagine, presented its own set of hurdles. They couldn't search within a polygon, only a radius, and the autocomplete wasn't working. Plus, defining kebab proved surprisingly tricky.
Haha, I can imagine. What did they do?
They ended up doing a grid search across Paris, carefully removing large parks from their search area to save API credits. They used paging to get more results, eventually collecting data on around 400 kebab shops. It was a lot of work.
And then the analysis? Did they find a correlation?
That's where things get interesting. Their initial Pearson correlation was a measly 0.091, which is basically nothing. Even after removing outliers, it only went up to 0.098. They even tried excluding metro stations. But the correlation became even weaker, 0.001. Basically, no correlation.
So the hypothesis was disproven. That's a bit anticlimactic.
Not entirely. The author points out that some of the worst-rated kebab shops were near train stations, suggesting there might be something to the original observation, but the data just wasn't strong enough to support it conclusively. They also acknowledge limitations like the subjectivity of Google reviews and the potential impact of tourism.
Interesting. So what's the takeaway?
The study highlights the challenges of real-world data analysis, the limitations of readily available datasets, and the importance of acknowledging biases and limitations. It's a fun, relatable story of a data scientist's journey, even if the results weren't what they expected. And of course, it leaves us wondering, is there something to this kebab train station proximity thing, or is it just a coincidence?
A great example of how even a seemingly simple question can lead to a complex and insightful data analysis project. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. And that's all the time we have for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.